bulletin board, you're going to have the first map is the intersection, the main intersection, and then the map that goes into whichever direction you're going. It's not going to go as far as you're going to go probably, but mostly the map is just that if you want to mark on the map any like really troublesome spots and take notes, you can do that. Past the maps, there are worksheets. So there's 4 worksheets: sidewalks, streets, and crossings. Who uses the street and why? Let's see, street safety and appeal, and public transit access. So you don't have to fill out every section on this, just stuff that you find applicable.
Okay.
And no stress, just make whatever notes. If you see something that's not on here, there's plenty of space to make whatever notes for anything you see.
Like if we see a bad spot in the sidewalk.
Yeah, anything like that. Any like vegetation on the sidewalks, spaces where the sidewalks are uneven, things that might cause
I got that in
obstructions.
front of my house.
Yeah, whatever you see. So this way from the intersection is going to be towards Sheringham. That's going to be the first street on the left. So a little bit further than that is Aiken Drive. Yeah, and then Oldsworth after that. You probably don't want to go all the way to Oldsworth, but if you do, knock yourself
More power to you.
Yeah.
You've got a long way if you go all the way over.
So try to keep.
Oh, that's north. I'm sorry, that's north.
Each of your worksheets have a paper clip. Try to keep your worksheets clipped so that I can, later on when I'm looking at these, I know which ones go together. There's a space at the top of your worksheet that asks for where you're walking. You don't have to fill all that out. Just you can say, like if you're going that way, you can just say Sheringham Drive, and I'll know it's that way. Okay. So do you want to take that direction?
Walk uphill all the time.
Is it uphill the whole time?
If we like to describe some kind of, so the sidewalks, there's a crack in it. Do we want to say how deep this is? Like if you were on a motorized wheelchair, you're going to tip.
Sure.
I mean, how detailed do you want it?
If you can tell that it's 1.5 inches or 2 inches, then definitely, mark that down.
Or, I mean, like
More
a tree.
details the better, because
Yeah.
we're gonna take all this and compile it into a report that will go to the city and nonprofit agencies and people that could remedy the situation.
Yes.
This uneven sidewalk doesn't mean anything until you're with someone with a scooter.
Right.
And they're coming in and they're doing this.
Right.
Yeah.
So my question was, does it have to be real time while we're observing, or if we've been in this intersection before and seen?
I mean, if it's still there, if it's still a problem, then
No, but I mean, like, I do see people traverse here, maybe wheelchair, scooter.
Yeah, I think make notes.
okay, then you can make notes of whatever. Like I said, there's a space for comments, so just write, whatever you feel like is applicable. Okay, we have black pens and red pens, and I'll give you each one of those or both, and
One of each.
feel free to mark whatever you find.
Red is severe.
Yes, red is severe.
Severe whole. Where did you do the writing? Because I can't remember.
And I heard you keep the black ones. Had to come by my intersection.
Okay.
But,
Are you okay with that direction?
It's fine.
Okay.
how far we can go?
Yep. You
I
each
don't
get
know if I
one.
can hold one with the umbrella.
Well, would you prefer to just do one together?
Let's do one together.
Okay, that's fine.
You don't mind?
Okay.
I'll let her do the writing. I'll
So
do the
that
talking.
direction is Elmont Drive,
So we're
and
gonna
then a little further than that is Lake Shore, I believe. Yeah. So again, go as far as you feel you want to go. If you
So going down one side, coming back up the
Yes,
other is
and I
kind
think
of
that's
your
the
thought.
only way to do it since this is the number of people we
Yeah.
have. So one side and then cross and come back the other
Perfect.
side.
Is there a time limit?
We're hoping to be done back here by 11:30, and then we're going to go down to Montopolis Rec Center, just like half a mile down the road, and that's where our food will be waiting for
Okay.
us. Okay.
What other direction did you have? Going that way?
So we're going to go in all 4 directions from this intersection.
That's just if you want. They don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that way is toward Wickersham. Who wants to do that?
Want to do that?
Okay, so here,
Yeah.
here's one of you.
Okay, well, let's get going. Okay, see y'all in a bit. Thank you so much.
Alright. And for you, thank you.
So we're going up the hill.
Okay, so that means Amy, you're going this way?
All right, which side do you want to walk out on? Want to walk out on the right side and come back on the right side, or walk out facing traffic and come back facing traffic? I like to walk facing traffic. You know, I think
They can
it
see
makes
us
a lot of
better and we
sense.
can see them.
Well, all of that, and you see, I think you see more stuff.
Yeah.
So we've got 4 different sheets of paper to work with. The last one is all about transit. The others are about conditions and what you see in terms of traffic and stuff. And they've got check boxes and all that kind of thing. And on this section, we will probably check most of the boxes.
Okay, good.
Like right there. Yeah. Well, and just if I'm talking to you,
Yeah, and
I
don't
can just
even-
easily kick that.
And
You
go
know.
to your truck. I mean,
And at my age, the likelihood I go down is fairly high and break a kneecap. Oh boy, now I've got. Great.
That's a real stumper too, isn't it?
Isn't that? Somebody needs to mark that.
I don't know. Yeah, who gets?
So I've got a white cane and I'm right here. My cane has not hit this yet. Yeah. All right.
My dad has Parkinson's, and he shuffles his feet a lot. He doesn't take big steps, but he hates using a walker. But he has. I'm like, you need mobility devices. So now he has to wear a fall helmet
Okay.
because he's fallen and hit his head on things so many times that now he has to wear a helmet. And my mom is a fast walker, and so she'll grab him by the arm and just go, and he's not even getting his feet down. And I think, Mom, you cannot do that. You have to walk at his pace, and you have to make him use a walker.
Would you put that on?
Yes.
All right, so we've got a walk signal now.
Yeah.
Lots of trash. Look at the hump where the asphalt is grown up on the concrete there. It gives you an edge where you can hit. This is one thing I really don't like, these slip lanes, because they let you come through really
And
fast.
people, they're not looking for
Yeah.
pedestrians as well, because
Right.
you're just,
Yeah.
you don't really have to stop to make the turn.
Oh yeah, and
So-
that right turn slip lane is very dangerous. Okay, so we've got technically a 2-lane road on this side, and it's all the way over there. There's 2 lanes on the other side. So this part of the sidewalk looks pretty good. So, how do they get over to there instead of crossing all the way up there and going down? They'll choose to walk across, walk through the grass, and then walk on across.
Yeah, I mean, there's a perfect example.
Yes, so. The group that's going the other way has a pedestrian hybrid beacon. So we'll see if they pick up on that. Those are very useful.
Do you see a lot of crashes or pedestrian injuries in driveways? Or are cars generally good at being able to
If they're-
see the pedestrian
You're
and
typically
yield?
turning into a driveway.
Or like,
You
I
think
mean, I
you
guess that's
potentially would think about, hey, there may be people here, but turning at the corner, you may or may not. Yeah. So here's a slight lift in the sidewalks, probably not big enough to deal with yet. And we got a bus. So it'll be interesting to see when this road was built. So, you know, anytime you see something like that, that's a fall hazard.
And how easy or hard is it for a city to come in and make that repair?
You've probably seen them just grinded down before. They come in with a machine that just grinds that edge off.
Yeah, they wouldn't like
Wouldn't
pull up the
repair
concrete.
no,
They would just
grind it, and that worked for a while. But again, you know, you see this one. See how it's settled differently?
And then a big one
Yeah.
right there.
And with the age of these sidewalks, this is not unusual. Why hasn't the city fixed this? This has
Yeah.
been here a long time.
Because this is something that and then you hit your knees, you land with your hands, so
Yep.
you're looking at knee injuries.
My wife just dropped and put her hand down and tore her rotator cuff. And so was she damaged? Not like you think of, but once she did that, it's changed her whole life.
Shoulder injuries are one of the hardest injuries for older adults to heal from and get back their full mobility. And rarely do they get their full mobility back after a shoulder injury. It's much worse than even a hip or knee.
Now, when you know she's 82.
Wow.
And the doctor says we're not going to operate.
Yeah.
It's going to take longer to recover from the operation than, you know, the injuries. So
is it chronic pain or what is kind of her life like with that injury?
It's hard to sleep. Because if she rolls over on that shoulder, it wakes her up. So, yeah. Okay, so.
Oh, shoot.
Bike back, bike.
Sorry. Thank you. I gotta.
Here you go.
Route 20, Taylor Road, Riverside, northbound. Please do not cross in front of the house.
See where folks go when they get off the bus.
Yep. And we have artwork. So, see the people crossing up there? That's because there's no good crossing for a long way. And people will choose to chance it. We do not want to cross that. Let's go a little bit further. We have plenty of time. Okay, we do have push buttons both ways.
Wait to cross Wickersham at Riverside.
Okay, these are handy. They keep cars off of you when you're waiting. And their ADA bumps are really well done. So if I've got a cane, I can hit that and realize, okay, I'm getting ready to go into the street. They have a bikeway along here on Wickersham on both sides, and it's sort of protected. But the nice thing about it, it's got a buffer. See the buffer that it's got with the posts in it?
Of course, there's a scooter.
There's a scooter in the bike lane, yeah. Now, if I've got a powered wheelchair, I might have some issues with that, but maybe not. But it does, the curb does keep cars off of the sidewalk, so.
Especially when it's not a, what, but it's still curved, so it makes right turns. You can go faster making your right turn. So having that buffer is important.
Yeah.
Because the curb makes right turns so easy,
Yeah, well,
you can go faster.
One of the problems with the way this turn is set up is that you have a bike lane right there, and people should be going wide
but
to get around, but no, the curb's going to let them come in narrow.
But they may not see it until
That's right.
they're here, and so then they have to kind of.
Yep. Okay, we can go to the next light and cross up there. So, lovely trees. Not much shade for the sidewalk, however. The bus stops along here are pretty well protected. They've all got roofs on them. And what are you looking
Where
at?
is the closest, if you're coming on the bus from that way, how far up is the next bus stop? Do you know?
I don't know, because there's one there.
There's one there, so if you need to get over here and you're coming from
you'll
that
walk
way,
back to
you would
there.
walk back up, which isn't
Right.
that bad.
Yeah. And they like to do the stops after the intersection so they don't stop up traffic on this side of the intersection.
Yeah.
They go ahead and get a green light and go through and then stop and let traffic go around. them,
around.
instead of stopping up traffic on a green light right here. Yeah. Actually, I'm impressed with how few construction projects they've had on this sidewalk in all the years. Like this one here. Something happened to the drain. They had to go in and fix it. And they came back and did their best to try to cover it up. But that also may be an attempt at a patch that the container for this drain didn't settle and the sidewalk settled. So the container is sticking up that far, and so they came in and put. Now, if they're going to do that, you don't use large aggregate, you use small aggregate.
Why wouldn't you use a similar grain
Yeah. So,
to
anyway.
the sidewalk to make that repair?
Yeah.
But the sidewalk's nice and wide, so if you
it's
do
good.
have a lot of people or a cyclist, because this road doesn't have a bike lane.
There's no bike lane.
Someone might feel more comfortable being on the sidewalk than in
Yep.
the street, but we
And
haven't.
particularly if I have to go this way for a short distance, I don't want to go all the way over there, all the way up, cross over, and then come back. And so I will tend to get on the sidewalk. One of the bike bills we passed in 2001 was named after a young man who decided to do that. Got on the sidewalk on the wrong side of the street. Got up there, and the lady in the truck, don't know whether she ever saw him or not, but she was looking the other way, and she waited and waited and waited, and he said, "Oh well," and he pulled out in front of her, and she ran over him.
Oh gosh.
And so the bill, and his mother was all over it. The bill was named after him, and we got a lot of good stuff done in 2001 for Matthew Brown. Well, this is another thing here is this is really good for drainage. See the slope up and then back down. really good for drainage. But it leaves the cars coming up, kind of creeping up. And can they see people on the sidewalk? Yeah, I guess they can, because it's so wide. But you have to be a little bit careful when people are coming up like that.
Yeah. Especially, again, making the right turn, because they're going to
Yeah.
hug.
Yeah.
And I've just found that
Well,
people,
look where the humps are, the ADA.
Yeah.
See, they're far enough back for them to say, oh, wait a minute, I'm getting into traffic.
let me
Yeah.
be cautious.
Yeah, that signal should be saying you're getting ready to get into traffic.
But
And so
how do
they're
you
in a good
know
place.
it's not a full intersection?
You don't.
You don't.
You know, unless you've been here before. But you know, if I've got my cane,
You would feel
I'm-
for like a button, maybe.
I'm saying
or-
like, whoops, okay, and then I could easily, you know, is there a button over here? If not, then I have to say, all right, let me see what happens. And as soon as I get there and feel that lip, then I'll say, oh, okay.
It's like a driveway or an
driveway.
entrance.
The School for the Blind, if you wanted to, in your position, you could say, I'd like to take some of the training.
Yeah.
And they will put a blindfold on you and take you out in traffic. I did that years ago, and it's unnerving, to say the least.
I can't. Yeah, I bet.
So the bike stops are in pretty good sequencing. 2 or 3 blocks in between. People will take the shortest route. Particularly if they had this open for any length of time and were doing construction, people would be down there.
Oh, I know this
Yeah.
is winter.
Wow.
So,
If it's not a powered wheelchair.
yeah. And then this, oh, watch out, bike coming up. Okay, you're welcome.
It's an interesting intersection with all the pieces. Because even though there's no bike lane down there, you've got a bike lane here, or almost. But they want the cars out. This is a way to keep the turn from being too wide. They push
Yeah.
the cars out.
But they have this so the cyclists don't go in the street. They
Right.
come up onto the sidewalk. And then they're blocking the crosswalk.
That's a $50 fine, by the way. All right. So we've got a crosswalk over here.
And even here,
Okay, here you go. Did you see the arrow showing you which way these go? Little tiny arrow on top of the thing. No arrow here, no arrow here.
Yeah.
No arrow here. So yes, this is the one we want, but
But-
it had to come and almost touch it before we found it.
and
Now,
that's
you
still
notice how it's
pretty
worn
steep.
off?
Yeah.
That means blind people have been touching it to find it,
Uh-huh.
okay? All right, now, I'm in a wheelchair. How do I get across the street? I go out there and then up. What's there to tell me
Yeah,
that I'm
there's
coming
no,
to the edge?
there's
no
no
ADA
strip.
markings here. Those are called truncated cones, by the way. Okay, you see this? Just right through on red. Didn't even slow down.
No. The guy on the scooter crossed on red. He was in the crosswalk, but he had a
There
stop
we go.
sign, and he went through it,
Yeah.
even though those cars were just getting their green light. So
Yep. This is a good crossing, 26 seconds.
well, it's
One of the things we look
5
for.
lanes of traffic, though.
Yeah, well,
That's
one of the things we look for is.
or six.
Oh, okay. Now, look at the sidewalk on the other side versus this one.
It's tight.
This is a little bit tighter. If I've got a wheelchair, it's going to be hard for me to pass you, particularly if I've got a big powered wheelchair. But look at the crossing button. They stuck it out there where I can get it in my
Yeah.
wheelchair without having to get too damn close. Okay? And again, theoretically, we should push the signal to cross here
Okay.
because this is a road. Okay? But we've got it. Love it when they do that.
And they put the ADA strip so you know you
Yeah.
were coming to a crossing, and you could feel for the button to see if there was a.
And you've heard buttons,
Yeah.
the audio, yeah. Okay, that side is much easier for a group of people or a powered
So that's the
wheelchair or
north
whatever to
side
work on. Yeah.
of Riverside, and this is the south. Now this is a little. Because if you're in a wheelchair, well, I guess if you're in a wheelchair, you're not
Yeah,
blind.
wheelchair's not too
so
bad,
you-
but I've got a cane.
But if you have a cane,
I come to that
You're
and I
gonna-
say, uh-oh.
is there a sidewalk? It's not intuitive that
Right.
that there would be one.
Yeah, you have to keep moving and figure out where it went. Yeah. Oops.
Ew.
Yeah. So these are mountain laurels along here. They look fairly recent.
I know. I had 2
Why?
saplings that did not survive the summer that I was trying to grow to plant in my backyard at some point.
So eventually we'll have more shade over here with these trees. And just when you plant oaks, you don't get shade very soon. Some of the streets in my neighborhood, they planted sycamores all along them. And they planted them 10 years ago, and now they're topped out at like 50, 60 feet.
Wow.
During the day, the streets are completely shaded,
Nice.
but they don't last that long.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's the lifespan of a
Yeah.
sycamore? But I guess you could replace them and get shade again
Yep.
when they do die.
The Edison Luxury Apartments.
I was like, that place looks nice.
Okay, where did we put our telephone pole?
Yeah.
Did we pour the concrete around that telephone pole, or did we put that telephone pole in later? ADA says I have to have 3 feet clear. I'm not sure that's 3 feet. Certainly isn't on the left side, maybe on the right side.
You do have, the sidewalk did get wider, and you do have the buffer between you and the cars,
Yep.
which is nice. But maybe over here you have 3 feet. I don't think on.
Oh, that's interesting. This goes up, makes a turn right there at that concrete wall, and goes all the way up into the complex.
But yeah, if you came around this way,
Yeah, you've got room with this
you have
sidewalk.
3
Yeah.
feet here.
But that's a little.
But I would say that's probably shy.
Probably not exactly 3 feet. Yeah, that guy wire that's on that other sidewalk is really dangerous for somebody with a vision issue. Because if they're walking along with their cane, they won't hit the guy wire before it hits them.
Hits them in the face or
the shoulder or something. Yeah.
What's it called?
The guy wire.
A guy wire?
GUY. Nearest track to the bus stop. Here's a scooter for you out there. So that scooter is down in the crosswalk, completely blocking.
And then you have
And
this
that
one.
scooter is in the bikeway.
I'm going to move that one out
I'm
of the
going to go out and
bikeway.
move this middle one.
Okay. Ow. Ooh. I'm not stealing you. I'm just.
Ah, shut up. Thank you for not stepping on it. Push it down, hold it down, and roll it backwards. It's going to come up on there.
Ah, I see.
There you
There. Like, those things are heavy.
go. Mostly battery. Walk sign is on. That's a little tight in there. Okay, nice wide sidewalk, but when we get to the bridge, this is one of the reasons I like a buffer between the curb and here. If I'm vision impaired and have a wheel device, I get to that curb and I'm over.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to have something in between me and that curb.
Yes. And this is.
This is a little tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and even here you have room, but then you could run into that. You have to.
And then we get a lip with a patch that didn't hold.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
vegetation that's kind of coming out into that space.
Uh-huh. The density down here is probably relatively high because of the numbers of apartment complexes. So, you know, here we are in pretty much the middle of the day, and we don't see a lot of people out. We see some,
Yeah.
but I'd be willing to bet you, beginning and end of day, it gets very crowded out here. This side of the sidewalk is in much better condition for some reason. And you can see where they replaced that whole section
Yeah.
and did a nice job. A little iffy here. Yep.
Yeah.
This is just, you know, it's grinding. It's coming out here with a grinding machine taking it down.
But that's a big lip.
That's a big one.
And then, so say you're coming here because you're coming to
Right.
this pharmacy. What is, do you
Yes, you come in the driveway, thank you.
you come in the driveway as a pedestrian or someone in a wheelchair?
Yep.
Because I know there's a sidewalk going in right here, but if you come to it here, you might not
No, it's up here.
know that's up there.
And if you come through this one, you go through the parking lot.
And that CVS sign, so if someone's coming this way and you're behind the sign, they might not stop to see you to stop and let you.
Yeah. So this was the accommodation for people with disabilities, right here. And then they go and park that vehicle right there on the edge.
Yeah.
It's not technically in the crosswalk, but, well, it is.
I don't know, that's in the crosswalk. That's fully in the crosswalk.
And then the car didn't park quite as well as they should have.
But yeah, so you're right here, and a car's coming from that way.
Yeah, you can't.
They're not going to see you till you're right
Here.
here, and they might not have slowed down enough to go. Now you can
Yeah.
kind of see them, but still.
Not much crosswalk there. Yeah.
Because when you think of walking, biking, rolling, it's a function of transportation. So it's a function of getting you where you need to go. It's not just for exercise.
Okay, here's another
or
one of those
sunshine.
right turn slip lanes. A car coming down that hill is going to be
Going fast.
going fast, going to be looking for cars going across.
And they're looking
stuff.
they're looking this way, that way, and this way.
They're not looking for me.
No.
If you don't mind, we'll walk across
Yeah.
that way.
Wait to cross Pleasant Valley at Riverside.
But when you think of walking as a means of transportation, then it's critically important that you get to that it's not just sidewalks, but that you can enter your destination
Yes.
safely as well. So, especially destinations like pharmacies, grocery stores.
Yeah, and that's, you know, HEB generally does a good job. But, you know, every job is different. And the question is, you know, there are 5,000 things you can mess up.
And then whose responsibility is it to make sure you get from the sidewalk, the pedestrian facility, to your destination safely? Is it the city? Is it a function of city infrastructure? Is it the destination itself, so the pharmacy or a grocery store?
Once you get across that property line, it's your responsibility. But there are rules. You know, ADA is a big one. You know, I've been active with this so long as the ADA wasn't even passed when I got started.
Wow.
It was so great when they passed that, you know? Wow. Okay, now let me ask you a question. Nothing coming for miles. Why don't we walk across?
We could,
We could.
but a car could be coming at a faster rate in which we walk
Yeah.
across. And there are rules for a reason, and I'm a rule follower.
You know, and I do too, because part of it is because I'm a role model.
Right.
You know, I don't ride a bike without a helmet. Why is that? You know, I know it's safe most of the time, but I don't want anybody to see me riding a bike without a helmet, particularly a kid.
I saw a cyclist get hit on Lake Austin Boulevard. It was early in the morning. The sun had not come up yet, and they didn't have any lights on their bike. And I saw them because they were in front of me. And I remember I told myself, don't forget they're there, and keep an eye on them. So when you do like know what they're doing. And then before I even got to them, a car came across in a driveway. It was like a driveway situation. Do I think the car with their headlights should have seen them?
Yeah.
Yes. But also, there were no lights on the cyclist, and I remember thinking, that's so scary. That's dangerous.
So this is really nice, this long crossing here. They've got another button down at the bottom.
And so it's not, I don't tell that story to blame the cyclist, but also we all have a role to play in keeping ourselves safe. My son's cross-country team, they run early in the morning on a road with no sidewalks.
Oh, wow.
They were, you know.
Do they wear reflectors?
I put lights on him. Not every kid does, and the school has not provided any, but I have. I'm like, you're going to be lit up like a Christmas tree. And it's not a busy road, but it doesn't matter. It takes one car.
Okay. This one did not acknowledge that I'd pressed the button.
Huh, it did not?
It did not acknowledge that I'd pressed it. So I don't know whether it is going to give me a light or not.
Now I hear a beeping sound, but you can't tell.
That's to let me know where it is.
Oh, that's to let you know where it is, not to let you know that it's been activated.
Yeah. I think it probably is, but okay, let's watch and see what happens here. Yep. Yep.
Well, and I think that the instinct to do it is stronger when you're only looking at cars from one direction.
Yeah, this is.
So it's like, nothing's coming this way. I only need to look that way. But if you're looking that way, you might not see this car coming up making a quick right turn. And they have a green light. If they have a green light, they're not looking for you because they assume, well, I have a green light, so I can go. Which is why right turns are scary. Because even if they had a green light, we would have a walk sign.
That's
so,
right.
yeah, so, yeah.
Oh, this is a long light.
Another reason why people will.
Yeah.
But I like notice on at Aldrich Airport, there's the box the one is timed to let cyclists go first. And two, there's a box that gives you like written directions to look out for cyclists and pedestrians. Do not turn on red, because this is a bike, there's lots of directions for the car.
Drivers. That just irritates cyclists so much. The cyclist was hit by a car.
No, it was hit by a person driving.
A driver hit the cyclist. Oh, okay.
Well, like the headlines when that principal in New Mexico got intentionally ran over by those kids.
Yeah.
It was like dies in bike accident. No, he was ran down and murdered.
Okay. Let's see what they do. There we go.
But there's no walkie person.
Let's see what it is.
Or is it there and I just can't see it? Oh,
It was there, but it's not lit. So we need to notify that. The white hand does not come on that signal.
and it was very short, even though that was a short crossing.
Wow. I'm coming along here with my cane, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Yes, it was a short light.